Hello friends, and welcome to the Planeswalker project. I hope you're doing well, hope you're ready for an amazing video. Today, we're going to talk about the top worst cards from Commander 2020. Yes, there's a lot of really good cards from the set, but with all the good new toys come a bunch of cards where the only really appropriate response is, thanks, I hate it. These are those cards, let's get on with it. Hit that like button if, you liked the video. Cue the epic music and the not so epic cards. Bonder's Ornament comes up as our number 5 spot. Yes, it's a mana rock, but it is literally no different from a manolith with a derpy French biz magic style ability on it. Yes, it's cute, but quite frankly, I really wish Wizards would stop including these cards that are supposed to encourage group-friendly play. We get one of these cards every so often that's all group-huggy and such, but honestly, I don't see a reason why I would want to let anyone with a Bonder's Ornament draw a card. 4 mana to draw a card and then to let everyone else who's drawn a card just seems excessive. Give me a Temple Bell or a Darksteel Ingot and call it a day. I don't see this seeing enough play to warrant me including it in a slot in my deck. Nasus Metamorph is a pretty interesting card. It has a random clone effect on an adorable little salamander creature that turns into something in an opponent's deck whenever it attacks or blocks. This card is really random. It relies on having an opponent you think has good creature quality, as well as going into the chance that you will run into it as opposed to some random mana dork. It's just not really good. It's too much chance and not an ability I would want on a creature. And honestly, the only value I see it offering is ensuring whatever creature is closest to the top of the deck makes its way to the bottom. Woo! Cryptic Trilobite comes in at number 3, and quite frankly, this is an example of a good design executed poorly. It comes off as a weird variant of Hangback Walker, and it can use its +1/+1 counters to generate double colorless mana. The problem comes in its mana being usable only to activate abilities. This comes in the cycling precon deck, Timeless Wisdom, and so I get that it's pushed to be a mana dork to use for the cycling cards. Cool, but I would rather have had the ability and flexibility to use that mana for other things. This isn't an artifact creature, and so it can be used in decks that just need double colorless. It could have been a useful mana sink and a mana dork useful in decks like Atraxa or Azuri that can plop more counters on it. But since I can't use its mana for anything that I would want to use it for, I don't know, it's just also a giant ancient bug, and I exist as an anxiety-ridden blathers. Burn the house down. The 5 impetus enchantments. Let's take a shot at some low-hanging fruit. So in just about every Commander precon deck we've ever gotten, we've gotten some of these designed for Commander cards. Some have been great, some have been meh, and some are hot, steamy garbage. These cards take advantage of the good mechanic, which means if they have to attack each combat if able, but they cannot attack you, the controller of the enchantment that's goaded them. Cool. So let me draw the ire of that one person at the table I just told I'd rather have their giant beastie not tread upon my lawn, and even though they give each some sort of additional benefit, I just don't find them worth the slot in any deck I'd be building. Even in my Feldergriff deck, which literally exists to make creatures for my opponents and suggest that they not attack me, still wouldn't use them. They're just not really good. And at number 1 is Akeem the Soaring Wind. This creature is one of the alternate commanders of the Timeless Wisdom precon, and when it comes to the commanders of the precon decks, I've looked at them with a lot harsher criticism. Just about every year's worth of precons has one commander that sort of shoots out into the stars of popularity and becomes the big hit in the commander format. We had Atraxa, Edgar, Lord Windgrace, and so on. But in the same breath, we have some commanders that just fall short of expectations. These cards are literally designed to be commanders, and so there is a design element for multiplayer play and a larger, bigger plays that I've come to expect. This creature feels like they were designing it and decided to hit the Achilles heel. It will never create any more than a single 1/1 bird, regardless of how many times during a turn you create tokens or how many you create. Its activated ability is usable multiple times, but again, you only get to give your board double strike. It's entirely useless beyond that one activation. I guess this permits it to be usable on your opponent's turns to give your board double strike and then additional prowess on combat when you need to defend. And given that it's already 5 mana to cost, 6 mana to use its ability, it is such a mana-hungry card in colors that don't efficiently ramp, and quite frankly, it is really the weakest of the tricolor commanders from this year's precons. Anyway, that'll do for this episode of Let's Dunk on Wizards' design choices. I'm sure someone's worked really hard on these cards. I'm sorry my idiocy decided to critique your hard work. I don't think I would be able to design better myself, so do take my rantings with a grain of salt. Anyway, I hope you, the viewer, enjoyed this video. If you did, there's a like button to let me know. It helps me sleep at night. If you're new to the channel, you can subscribe to be in the know when something new comes out. If you decide for some reason this channel is worth your support beyond that of a normal YouTube viewer, I have a Patreon where you can help this channel get its shit together. Anyway, I have to go on the next cringeworthy piece, so I bid thee toodaloo.